Good morning, Christine. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning so that we can talk about our upcoming Graff capsule sale, moments and motifs in relation with Chinese works of arts.
Thanks so much for having me, Uni. I think it's great that we're able to come together to discuss the similarities between our seemingly different disciplines.
Jewelry and motifs, they go hand in hand together. Jewelry often has a lot of symbolism because they are usually used as a means of celebration in life or in history in many different types of cultures. So to be able to explore different motifs in that is very interesting for me.
Motifs in Chinese culture, there is almost a ceremonial aspect to it. After the Manchu conquest in 1644, the regulations relating to the imperial attire and paraphernalia were really revised and strictly stipulated. So you have the court necklace being part of the ceremonial imperial attire. And there is a magnificent example from the 18th century where the court necklace is made of 108 freshwater pearls.
That's interesting. So knowing the fact that jewelry also in Chinese history was used in different types of settings. I feel that the most strongest inspiration that artists and also craftsmen often have is the motifs of nature. And I think to start off with, one of the most popular are concepts of flora and fauna. And from the House of Graff, they have tried a few different methods of how they interpret their own motifs of nature in jewelry. And you can see that he used that type of very realistic approach to depict a blooming flower. And I know that flowers are also very important in Chinese culture and also Chinese art as well, right?
Flowers always signify blessings and abundances. But this one in particular, it really does remind me of a daylily drawn. And daylily in Chinese culture is also known as a flower of auspiciousness in the sense that it's sometimes called Wang You Cao, so a flower that dispels grief, or Yi Nan Cao, so a flower that kind of brings about male offspring.
Animals are actually a very important part of jewelry motifs. Perhaps one of the first ones that I can show you is this very beautiful fish brooch. And I know that in Chinese culture, fish is quite an important symbol, right?
In Chinese culture, as fish is so important, it's really often employed on different works of art. For example, in the Qianlong period, there is a white jade ruyi scepter that's worked with a pair of fish flanking peony blossoms, which are also symbolisms of riches and happiness. So here the ruyi scepter is also favored for its auspicious connotation because it sounds like as you wish, ru yi.
Moving on to another favorite motif of mine, butterflies. And I'll be very interested to know how butterflies are interpreted and used in Chinese works of arts as well.
I'm thinking about a blue and white vase that's painted with butterfly medallions, so pairs of butterflies kind of formed in medallions. As you know, in Chinese art, butterflies sound like fu die in certain dialects, so it really is homophonous with an accumulation of blessings and happiness.
Another very important motif, waves. I love the fact that they have used this type of quite an iconic motif to symbolize oceans.
This pendant really reminds me of the hokusai print of the waves done in the 1830s in Japan. I'm sure most people would have seen it because it's so iconic and really universally known, and it's so influential on generations of artists in the East and the West.
Yes, that's true actually. And I like the fact that that really, kind of connects these two type of, somewhat maybe different disciplines together. Thank you so much for joining me today in this conversation, and I felt like I learned a lot from you.
Thank you very much.